Hi, I'm Mike Warner, this year's president of the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. I would like to welcome you to the 2018 Candidates Forum in partnership with Medina TV. All candidates in contested races were invited to be interviewed. I'm pleased to be joined by Jared Fry of Medina TV for the interviews. We hope you find these interviews informative and helpful as you cast your vote. We'd like to welcome Carol Carter, candidate for County Commissioner, to the Greater Medina Chamber and Medina TV's Candidate Forum. Let's begin by having you tell us about yourself.
Okay, I first want to say thank you for the opportunity. I'm Carol Carter, Mayor of the Village of Seville. I've been mayor for the village for over 5 years. I've been involved with the government in the village for probably close to 10. I've got 2 grown children, 3 grandchildren, 2 dogs, ride my own 03 Harley Davidson, nice, and drive a 37-foot RV. So kind of a woman that is not afraid to step up and try big challenges. Ooh, like that. So.
Very good. For the viewers at home, can you describe a little bit about the role of County Commissioner?
Well, I have attended numerous meetings starting back before 2010 because I like to do my homework before I get involved in things. And they have a lot of say over what controls all of us. The legislative and governing, and one of the reasons I have thrown my hat into the ring is I think they've lost touch. I am an individual who believes that community is everything. Being an elected official is being a public servant and listening. And I'm finding more meetings I'm going to, I'm not sure they're using their ears for listening like they should. And not that they don't do a good job, but I just have a different way of doing things. I want to have a hands-on approach. I like my finger on the pulse. Not a micromanager by no means, but when my name is on the dotted line, as it is for the mayor, I want to know how we got to the conclusion that we've gotten to.
Sure.
And so that's why I'd like to be involved at the county level, like I have been at the Seville level.
Okay. Now, what skills and expertise do you feel you bring to the position?
Leadership. As mayor, I am the highest ranking law officer in our village. I have the radio to listen to what goes on with anyone who uses the dispatch for the sheriff's department. I have some concerns there. I don't think the commissioners have given our safety forces the money, which I know money is a big issue on everything, but the safety forces are to keep themselves safe as well as us. And if there's anyone who needs to make sure that they've got the funds for the equipment, that needs to be there. And having that radio is a great tool to hear what is going on, not just with my own police department, but with our fire and EMS and with around the county. I am just a hands-on individual. I'm the administrator of the Chamber of Commerce, so I have a finger there as well in what goes on within our village and outside of our village. I'm just a person who, if I'm going to do the job, I'm going to step up, fall in head first, and forget to come up for air. That's kind of what I do. You know, I'm very involved with Medina County Economic Development as well. You know, there's no boundaries for me from our village to get outside and promote our village, and I think that's what's helped our village with our economic growth.
Now, what do you think is the biggest cost area for the county budget, and how would you plan to address that if elected?
I truly feel that the drug issue puts a burden on all of it, you know, because you're dealing with the police departments, you're dealing with the family services who don't have enough employees to cover the whole county for the issues that the drugs cause. You know, you've got drugs, you've got domestic violence, you've got just people who can't afford, you know, for whatever reason, and there's not enough places for them to go either. So I think the drugs, it's a trickle-down effect for all of it, you know, and I don't know what, until you actually get in, it's easy for an outsider to sit here and say, well, you should have did this, or why didn't you do that? But as mayor, there's some issues that we pick the reason that we do that's not always popular. And until, as a commissioner, that you're looking at all of the avenues, you know, I really can't say, you know. I have to be honest with that.
Yeah. In other areas, you talked about the opioid and getting the drugs and the resources for that. Are there other areas of government procurement that you would believe can be improved at the county level?
Well, this is another of what I'm looking at from the outside, okay? I sit at the commissioners' meetings, and our buildings are falling down around us. And when I asked them why there hadn't been a maintenance program, they said it goes back to 2008 when the bottom fell out of everything. Okay, but we do have a county building department. So they hired, I'm going to back up here a minute, they hired a firm to come in and hundreds of thousands of dollars to go over what buildings need fixed, and did a slideshow of how bad some of them were. And some of these buildings were built in 1999. So why did we have to hire someone and spend all that money and not use our building department, which we issue permits and we inspect buildings before we can allow people to continue building? So I want to know why we can't use our own resources instead of outside resources. That's one of my concerns.
Very good.
Sure. There's been a big topic, and this is a topic that's gone on for a long time, and that's waste and recycling. That's gone around and around over the years, but now there have been more recent talks with development in the process now being voted on with waste and recycling. What's kind of your stance with waste and recycling?
They shouldn't have closed it until they had a fix. Granted, it needed maintenance as well, and they want to yell at the contractor who had it, but yet he followed the rules of what his expectations were supposed to be. I'm not happy with the whole mess. I've been vocal in how I'm not happy with the whole mess, and I'm going to a meeting in Wadsworth tonight on trash haul. I think that the bid should be thrown out and started all over, because I don't think the bid process was done correctly. They're telling me that it was a different kind of bid than what I'm accustomed to in the village of Seville. I just know in Seville, when you put a bid out, it has criteria of what you expect to come back in. And if it doesn't meet those criteria, then you throw it out. Well, I looked at these bids, and the majority of them didn't meet that, and they didn't disclose everything that they should have disclosed. So it's just a mess. It's a mess.
Now, do you have a particular stance in terms of the waste removal and then like the recycling facility? What is kind of your opinion?
I'm having a hard time because I pride myself on it. I can't know it all. I don't expect to know it all. I don't expect other people to know it all. But you go to the experts. And when you have the experts of our local trash haulers, one I know from Seville that's retired, another one's here in Medina, and another one's out of Cleveland. And when they're saying that what they're doing isn't the right way and it's going to come back and cost the residents more money to supplement the businesses, why aren't they listening? There's got to be a better plan. And I'm concerned that they're going to squeeze the local people out, and it's all going to go corporate America, and I'd hate to see that in Medina County. But that's from my point of view.
Now, in terms of partnerships, you have the county, but then of course you have all these different cities and townships that help make up the county. How do you see a partnership working with all those entities?
Well, Guilford Township borders us, and I have a great working relationship with the township trustees. I try and attend at least one of their meetings a month, and I work with anybody. I don't even have to like them to work with them. I've learned that with age. I used to dig my heels in pretty good too, and there's a few things that have happened in my life that have made my perspective of things a lot easier. And I know this is not what you asked, but one of the things about me is I pride myself in my opinion. And then sit back and I coach others up. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what you think. And we do that at every one of our meetings in the village of Seville. All of our council people, all of the zoning that sit on zoning, we take the time before the meeting comes to an end. Okay, what do you think? What do you think? And they are called out to say what their opinion is. You know, and that's what I tell them. The best decisions come from variety of opinions, you know. So I think that we need to be more involved. I have coffee with the mayor on Wednesdays, as long as my schedule allows it, at the administration office, because they're so excited to get back in the sacred area, you know. And but as commissioner, I'm going to keep that up and go out in the communities, because how many residents can attend a 9:30 in the morning, Tuesday morning meeting?
Sure. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I have a problem with that too.
Right. Some changes coming around if you have
Well, the good changes. The commissioners voted to take public what we call ours privilege of the floor, public comment they took out. And the only way you can make comments at a commissioners meeting is if you call in on Friday like you're making a reservation to talk on Tuesday. And other than that, you can't speak. Now, how many people who don't pay attention to that or don't understand what that means take the time to come to a 9:30 Tuesday morning meeting and then they can't even speak? We are to serve the public. And I know why the commissioners did it. The Nexus pipeline, the trash haul, the public comment got too much, but that's our job. You know, if you've got a room full of people who want to speak, then you just tell them it's not going to be 5 minutes, it's going to be 2 or 3. I also know that sometimes people aren't as respectful. We have Robert's Rule of Order and we have a gavel, you know, so you can keep order. And I just don't think you should ever take that away from a meeting at all, you know?
And actually that brings up a good point in terms of communication. Do you see any plans or ideas that you would like to implement to maybe help that communication process between the public and commissioners?
Well, I'd put that back, you know, and then like I said, 1 day a week out in the community, plus the fact I want a list. I want to know why commissioners aren't going to the local meetings. You know, of course, I do have a situation that allows me to be more, take a part-time job and give it full-time commitment, and that's because, number one, I'm retired. So I'm not having to juggle work and being an elected official. Being an elected official, mayor of the village, is my job, and that makes me unique. But I feel that commissioners should be dividing it up and looking at the schedules, because city, village, township meetings are always in the evening. So why can't one of them be attended and just do the cycle, you know, of attending those meetings? How are they knowing what's going on if they're not out there? And I'm not meaning that they have to go out there and speak. Just go out there and listen. Just listen.
Right, get the pulse of
Exactly.
situations. Very good. Is there anything else you'd like the viewers to know at home before they come to vote?
Well, like I said, I'm retired. I am campaigning hard that I take a full-time position or a part-time position and give it a full-time commitment, and I do that. My residents of the village have mixed emotions about me doing this, which, how humbling is that? Who gets that? We're not going to vote for you because we want you here as mayor.
We don't want to lose you.
You know, and I said I'm not moving. You know, I'm still going to be here. I'm just a go-getter. I don't take no, I can't very well. I want to know why we can't. You know, I care. I'm passionate about what I do. I think I'd make a great commissioner because I've already got experience in leadership and being a mayor. You know, the highest ranking law officer we've got. My fiscal responsibility record is already there. When I became mayor in 2010, we didn't even have a $100,000 carryover, and we didn't have a 5-year budget. I prided myself that Richard Barbera, an attorney here in Medina, lives in Seville, served as consul. He got Keith Durham to come down and help our administration set up a 5-year budget. We've still got that going, you know, and how they didn't survive before. We have a $500,000 carryover every year. It makes it tight sometimes, but they just want to make sure that that is there. So that's a big star in my cap. I'm one of those that I have had to learn with campaigning that usually I own my mistakes more than I own my successes. And I've had to learn that I am pretty good at what I do. I like what I do. And my council is behind me that if this is what I want, then they'll support me. So I think I can bring a breath of fresh air to the county commissioners, not to change it up, but just look at things differently, involve the community more. So
fantastic.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time today, Carol.
Yes.
I wish you the best of luck this November.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.